I went to the Sydney Destash Market, genuinely excited to see what changes they had made this year. Instead, I ended up in the rain, battling umbrellas, and sloshing around in the mud. I even hit a point where I was like, do I stay or do I just go home? Hey, I'm Emma, your crochet bestie, and welcome to my channel, Woodvale Lane. So this was the Sydney Destash Market. This year they moved it to the Portuguese Club in Marrickville, which felt kind of like a random location for a craft market, but it was a massive upgrade from the venue that they had last year. Last year it was held at the Petersham Town Hall and it was hot, chaotic, and so crowded. So when they announced the bigger venue this year, I was like, yes, growth. Comfort, a space to breathe. Yes, let's go. And to be fair, it was way easier to get to this year too. It was just a short walk from Sydney Station, which is also connected to the metro. Super handy. Logistically, getting there via public transport was so easy. Complete slay. Entry to the market was $2 and it was so well managed. Last year, bit of chaos. If you want to see what that was like, I will link my video up here. The Portuguese Club offered a space outside as well as inside. So outside it was on a field and inside it was in a hall. The outside was huge and had plenty of stalls with lots of goodies, and the space between the aisles was more than adequate. Inside though, the hall was hot and humid. The stalls inside the hall that were on the outer perimeter, they were perfect. They had plenty of space. The ones sort of towards the middle aisles though, and it was a bit of a mission to navigate the inside of those aisles. I feel like they definitely could have given a little bit more space to those inside aisles by pushing them out a little bit more, and it wouldn't have really compromised the general feel of the whole vibe. But you know, at least it was dry. Outside though, the weather had completely different plans. The rain was meant to ease up around 9 a.m. according to the Bureau of Meteorology, but I think we all know they lie, and it did not. It just kept raining, like proper, fully soaked through rain, and it was absolutely relentless. Having an inside and outside stall option was absolutely great in theory, but most of the stalls were outside, in the mud, in the humidity, in the relentless rain. I actually felt so bad for some of the stall holders because they did not have adequate cover at all. And there was only maybe like a handful of those people. They're just out there trying to sell off their stashes while it's basically swamp conditions. From a buyer's perspective, I was like, please bring them inside. But I'm assuming the reason that they didn't end up inside was because of space and safety rules, and probably not wanting to repeat last year's crowdy situation. Despite the weather though, once myself and my friend really settled into browsing through the market stalls, like we proper committed to it, it actually turned out to be a really good browse. There were so many more stall holders than last year, and the variety was so good. Honestly, you could get all sorts of things. There were so many vintage buttons, trims, fabrics, and heaps of old patterns that I absolutely love. Like, that is my jam. There was knitting, there was crochet, there was sewing, there was heaps of old Vogues. It was a complete treasure trove. It was great. It was just full of crafty girl treasures. Even though the hall was hot and humid, it really was a good reprieve from the rain outside. There was also food and coffee options this year, which was great. One of the highlights was there was a lady inside of the hall selling cakes. My friend had one. It looked absolutely amazing. Outside, there was also live music. My friend and I ended up being at the Destash Market for about 3 hours, which is absolutely wild when you consider how relentless the rain was. So I'm not gonna make you wait any longer, besties. Here are the fun things that I found at the market. The first thing I picked up was this crochet tank top. I thought it was cute. I don't really buy patterns for adults, so you know, I thought why not? At the same time, I bought this kids motif poncho. Again, I just thought it'd be fun. This one is an easy pattern and this one is an intermediate. But kind of funny, later on in the market, after I had already purchased this, I found this beautiful pattern book with lots of different kids crochet patterns in it, and it had the same poncho and the same poncho down here. What were the odds, honestly? But I don't actually have many crochet patterns for children, so I thought, I have a child, I wanted to expand into larger sizes, so I thought, you know, why not? Next up is this magazine. It's from 2012, which honestly feels so long ago. And I just had to buy it because I really loved this little dress. And I also really liked the one on the front cover here as well. I don't have that many kids patterns, so I'm just trying to build up my library and this will help me. Next up is this Pretty Poppets in Crochet book by Paytons. If you're interested, this is book 995. I had to buy it because these two divas on the front looked like they were having the best time. And I really am just a sucker for dress patterns. And this one looked so cute and I really like the lace in the skirt. Also, how adorable is this dress? I really liked the filet crochet down the bottom, and it's definitely something I wanted to try a bit more of this year, so I was like, why not? Add to cart. Next up is the Ponchos and Shawls Paytons pattern book 967. I actually just really loved the variety of ponchos. And also, you're not gonna believe this, but they have mother-daughter matching ponchos. I know, it is so cool, like legitimately. Like honestly, how cool is that? This is gonna be me and my kid walking around in our matching ponchos. Or if I can actually be bothered knitting, this. How cute would we be? But yes, I really like these ponchos. They're so cute. But like, I just think these ponchos are so pretty. Absolutely love, love, slay. And here's like a basic one for beginners, but still so cute. And it has a matching hat. Like, who doesn't want that? Are ponchos coming back? Are they in fashion? I don't know. But I really was very excited that it had a mummy and me section. I'm a little bit of a sucker for baby patterns, so I'm gonna try and speed run these next ones. But how cute are these babies? I bought this specifically for the pattern on the back, of course. Love this cute baby jacket. This one I specifically bought because the baby had crocheted leggings. I know that's kind of crazy. But like, you just don't get a whole outfit like that really in modern patterns anymore. This is Payton's knitting book 330, and I bought it for this absolutely stunning blanket on the back. I also got Payton's Royal Babies 649. And when your baby is not cooperating for the flat lay, what are you gonna do? That's right, you're gonna make them out of cardboard. I also picked up another copy of Payton's Baby Time 611. Now I swear this must be one of the most popular patterns out there, like vintage patterns. And my pattern book was not in this good of a condition, so I purchased another one. But for like a really popular book, I don't see it on Ravelry that much, so I don't know how much people are actually making from it. And I also got the Woman's Weekly Knit for Baby. I really like these vintage coat hangers. I kind of wish I made some for my baby, but it's never too late. She's always my baby. So pattern wise, this is the best pattern that I found. It's from the 1920s and it is the Best Way crochet lace. Now I purchased this because it has absolutely stunning borders, and I just couldn't let it stay there, you know? I really like the bows. Here is a close-up on the bows. Oh, but yeah, I like all of this decorative edging. It is so nice. And when people talk about crochet being an art, this is like what I picture, definitely. I put it back in plastic, so sorry about the glare there, but on these borders, just something, even this one, so good. Okay, that's enough gushing. And I want to extend myself this year, so I'm really trying to push myself to actually make something from this book. I'm not going to handle it too much longer, so on to my next items. I got so many buttons, so let's do a quicker roundup. I really liked these ones. They're going to go on the back of the project I'm working on now. I also got some light pink ones because that is like a color I'm sort of missing in my collection currently. These buttons, so cute. I just couldn't say no. And like in real life, they have like a bit of more of an ombre effect going on. Here are some vintage glass buttons, and I have a cardigan that I want to put these on. Next up, I have some shell shank buttons, and honestly, I just couldn't say no. I can't remember if I said this or not, but they also sell fabric at this thing. So I got this absolutely nostalgic, for me specifically, fabric of Taronga Zoo. Taronga Zoo says so right here. I cannot tell you how excited I was to see this. I swear my childhood bedroom had curtains made out of this fabric. My mum says it was similar fabric and not the same, but like, whatever, mum. This, it looked so familiar and it hit me just in that nostalgia spot that I was like, yes. I'm gonna buy however much of this fabric they have, which was just this. And I'm gonna make my child a library bag out of this. So excited. But yeah, for me, the most nostalgic part is like seeing the koala, the lion, and this like little snake in the tree. I don't know, I just remember that so vividly that I'm questioning if my mom was correct about the fabric or not. Anyway, look, there's also a dolphin, an elephant, a wombat. It's so fun. I don't know. If you have a local Destash Market, go. Go and see what fun vintage things you find. If you were born in the 90s, then your childhood is vintage now. So do with that information what you will. Oh, look at this little snake. It's so silly, but yeah. And like the old skyline before it is what it is now. And the Harbour Bridge. And the Opera House and Taronga Zoo. If you come to Sydney, definitely go to Taronga Zoo. It is such a fun day. It's a long day, but it's a good day. Okay. And a little bit of the koala before we move on. I guess in the drafts too. Okay, let's go. Overall, it actually was a really good day. The venue was definitely a massive improvement from last year's. And I heard that they had about 1,000 people show up, and honestly, it didn't even feel like that. It was such a good time. It's just unfortunate that the weather completely changed the vibe. And I think craft markets are definitely one of those things that, you know, are a little chaotic ecosystem of their own. Like you can plan to have everything just right. Sometimes the weather just decides what kind of day it's going to be. Would I go again? Yes, definitely. But maybe next time I'm gonna bring my gumboots. Thanks for watching, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!